Alright, what up? Welcome back. It's like 2 years later.
Yep.
And we're about to fix broken shit, even though I always fix broken shit. I just never record. So, I don't know why I'm standing on this wood, but whatever. Anyway, S2000, back in the garage. I got the wood. It's been lowered. Put the mirrors on. I know I did a mirror video, but the suspension video, some footage got lost on my computer, so I never ended up doing a coilover video. So we're going to be doing the thermostat today, which is somewhere over there. And we're going to be testing my fans, because I think one of the switches is bad to see. I know it's definitely overheating from the thermostat, but I'm just going to jump the fan switches to make sure those aren't the issues. Alright, so step one, get your wood down. 2 pieces because your car is low, and go ahead and jack up the car. So let's get to it. Alright, next step, now that your car is properly jacked off the ground with a jack stand, we're going to go ahead and drain the coolant. So grab your custom drain pan. You're going to want to open it here. I don't know if this helps at all. Open it here. And there's also a let me see if I can adjust the lighting. There's also a drain, I think it's a petcock valve at the bottom of the radiator. There would be a fan normally here, but there's not, so you're going to go ahead and loosen that up and then drain it out. So let's get to it. Okay, now that the cap's off, this cap is off, I went ahead and loosened that. So, loosening it, and there it goes. So it's still coming. It's gonna be a while. There should only be maybe about a gallon in there. So once that's done, we'll be back. Alright, so I'm gonna start disconnect it as we go. So I'm gonna start with taking off the intake really quick, and then we'll move on to I think just the intake needs to come off. So we'll start taking shit off.
Pull that intake.
Okay, Ling Ling. Alright, so really quick, I was going to go ahead and remove this air box here, but it's kind of a pain in the ass, so I just figured I'd take off the main piece here. I took pictures of all the air hoses. I mean, I know where they go, but you never know, just in case. So that's off. This stuff's whatever, it can be out of the way, you know, pushed out of the way, whatever. Up here can go. And then I'm going to go ahead and remove the belt, and then go ahead and start taking the alternator off, because this goes straight behind to the thermostat. Alright, so next we're going to go ahead and want to remove the belt. So go to the tensioner, it's pull down. I didn't know which way it was, but pull down. I'm going to take a picture before I do that, just so I know the layout of the belt. I think it's on some cars like here under the hood, but I'm still going to take a picture. And I'll go ahead and look it over so I kind of see where it goes. Okay, go ahead and pop that off. I might be able to just get it off the top couple ones. I don't know why this belt's being a pain in the butt, but it is. Okay, off. I'm not going to remove the whole belt. I'm just going to only remove what I need to be out of the way. So I will just go ahead and put it like that. Shove this hose back down there. Now we can go ahead and start to remove the bolts for the alternator. So as per usual, you're going to want to grab a big ratchet and a big socket because this top bolt is really hard to loosen, and I'm sure the bottom one is going to be difficult as well. Okay, so I'll go ahead and loosen those up, and then I'll show you how to move the alternator out to the right, because it is pretty difficult. Alright, so if it's cold out, you're going to have a rough time getting this alternator out. So you're going to grab a screwdriver or possibly a pry bar. You don't want to press down on the pulley. You just want to press in between the alternator and the pump. Move it out. It's going to be pretty rough getting it out. So you might even have to go to a breaker bar to pop it out. Alright, yo, so I just figured out the trick to getting the alternator out. I couldn't remember from last time I did it. So basically, it's going to be wedged in down there. So you're going to want to take your pry bar and pretty much just keep going down in there and just keep pushing it forward like this and wiggling it. And I also use some penetrating gel lubricant. Stuff works a charm. I use it on getting hoses off, anything, you know, rubber or that, you know. So that's how I did that. I'm gonna unbolt the back, get that out, and then we'll start taking out the thermostat. Alright, so next we want to go ahead and disconnect the battery. Okay, that's done. Then next, on the back of the alternator, you'll want to disconnect this, the power, I believe, and also the connector that's going to power and ground. Alright, now those two things are done. Go ahead, get the alternator out of the way. Here's all my tools and my bolts all organized. Obviously you might not use, I just grabbed a lot of tools that I thought I was going to use. And that is where a thermostat is, this bottom hose down here. It's really hard to see, but right around where I'm pointing, if that connector right there is where it's at. Alright, so I got you guys pulled back for a second. I'm basically going to show you how you're going to get to that clamp down there. You're going to want to use this tool from Matco. What you do is you squeeze it and it tightens on the clamp. Then there's also a lock. So wherever I squeeze, it'll lock the tool, and then you could unlock to release it. So I'm going to use this to go adjust you guys down there and get, see if you could see the clamp. Maybe not, but there is that clamp right by the green connector. Really hard to see, sorry about the focus, but I'm right there next to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and use that tool to get to it, and it should help me get it off, because I don't think you'd be able to get in there with pliers. So that's what I'm gonna use. Okay, so I got the housing off right there, but the thermostat is literally stuck in there. So I'm going to take a hammer and the long blue screwdriver right there, and I'm going to try tapping it from the top right here, because if you look down there, which you probably can't see, you can barely see the top of it. But yeah, I'm going to try tapping it and seeing if it will pop out. But I don't know why it's so stuck in there, but it's weird. So I'm gonna tap it out right now, and then I'll be back in a minute. Alright, so yeah, I just hit it out and it was like stuck in there, but it's all draining now into the pan. So that's good. But it took a couple whacks and it finally popped off, and then all the coolant started coming out. So I'm gonna pop it out and then pop in the new one, and then we'll just repeat what we took apart. It should be always easier putting it back together because you took it apart fast, you know how to do it. So take that out and I'm going to start putting it back together. I'll see you guys in a minute when I'm done or I have something to update you with. Okay, so I just want to show you, can see the bottom of the thermostat housing. New thermostat it is. New thermostat is in. This one has some writing on it because it looks OEM. But as you can see, or not, it will say up on it, and there will be this little thing. I don't know what it's for. But it says up. Just, you could look at it. This has to be facing up. That's what I'm assuming. Not 100% sure. But obviously you're going to put the seal on. I believe this one's stuck closed. So I put the seal on it. Made sure that this, whatever this is, was also facing up. I took a picture before I took it out. So the new one is like that. I'm not 100% or 100% sure why that's supposed to be that way, but I'm going to look it up. If you do know why, just drop it in the comments below. But everything I did taking off wise, I'm going to go ahead and put back together now. And either I'll update you or see you when we're done. So, and I'm about to torque the thermostat housing bolts down. They seem like it might be easy to over torque, so I'm going to go ahead and look those specs up now, and I should drop them on the screen. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, quick update. Lower radiator hose is back on. It's hard to see, but clamp is on behind that green connector. So new thermostat housing, everything's all bolted up. So I'm gonna go ahead and install the alternator, get all the lines hooked back up, and then put the bottom spec hot valve in, fill it up with coolant, bleed the system, and then test the fans. So I don't know if I'll do testing the fans on camera, but as long as that's smooth, I know I will last with one fan. So we'll see you guys in a minute. Sometimes you just gotta go for it. Alright, so alternator's in. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up here. Ryan just told me he is gonna record at Cozy Corner. I don't like recording in public, like in a scenario like that, but sometimes I'll record. So he's on the phone with me right now. So is that right, Ryan, that you're gonna record at Cozy?
Yes, that is right. You
okay.
have the right to call me out if I don't.
Okay, so if he don't, I'm calling him out on YouTube. So we'll see y'all later.
We can never stress a thing. And we gon' go another day when we don't disagree. And when the sun's shining, regardless if you do believe. Hey, celebrate. In the morning when I see your face. Need you more when you go. I need you more every day. Keep a foot on the brake in case I lose all control. Yeah, so baby, don't lose control. I'm focused on you, baby. Lately you've been in my aim. I've been reaching out for you and still they're so far away. Looking through the smoke in the mirror. Crazy how I see you so clear.
Alright, so as you can see, there's bubbles popping up. Maybe not because of the position of the camera. But if you were to do this, I'm sure some bubbles would come up. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start the car. Let it run, get all the air out of the system, make sure the thermostat comes up, and then we'll see if the fans are working or if that's contributing to it overheating. But I definitely know the thermostat's stuck, so let's get to it. Once the car gets up to operating temperature, we should see the thermostat open and suck some of this coolant down, as well as see some bubbles from bleeding. So we'll give it 5-10 minutes and I'll show you guys once that starts happening, but I'm going to cut it until then. Alright, quick update. So I figured it out. There's some extra material on the top of this thermostat seal compared to this one, so I took a razor blade and I trimmed it off, so that's what was causing that small leak. So always double check your parts, and I did take everything back apart and I'm about to put it back in and hopefully it'll be good. Alright, you should be seeing bubbles like that. That's good. Sometimes they're big or a lot of small. But I just took it all apart again and put it back together because, as I showed you guys with that O-ring, how they had some little excess, so it didn't complete the seal. And on the insert itself, there's a little slot for where that top piece of that seal go. So you need to look for that when you're installing it. But I'm gonna let it bleed here and get all the air out of the system, and then we're headed to Cozy's. Alright, so I'm not really seeing any more bubbles, and it's pretty low and it's been steady there. I'm gonna let those couple keep coming, but for the most part it's done. So we're heading to Cozy. I'll see you there.
Holy shit. Only in Mexico.
Now you make me smile, oh baby,